Am I supposed to say, hey there, creeper, welcome to Creepy Conversations?
I'm Kalai.
And I'm Nikki. Oh my god, that was supposed to be a question, and then it suddenly is like, this is the introduction. Hi!
What's up? So yeah, we were talking about the shit that we see on social media, and it needs like a trigger warning or a consent form or something, because some people just post whatever they fucking want on social media, and I don't want to see it.
I feel like there should be some sort of warning in every single video that says, this is the content, are you willing to watch this, before it actually plays. Because it's just...
Yeah, the spitting thing, I don't like.
That is...
Don't post that. People...
Yeah, I personally think it's nasty, not to kink shame or whatever. It's just... Why though?
Not my personal preference, but don't, post it so that people like us will see it. I don't know.
This is the reason why I deleted TikTok, because the moment I opened that app, the very first video that was there was a guy spitting on his camera to make it look like he was spitting on you, and I was just like, I want to throw my phone. That was gross.
Yeah. Also, there was the other video, the one that we just talked about right before we started recording. Like the couple that did the thing and then the guy pushed the girl into the snow and then spit in her mouth. Like, sure, for other people, I get why that's sexy. But, don't show it to everyone, please. I feel like that should be a bedroom thing or a thing between couples,
Do you really get it though? Okay, for the creepers, why is it sexy? I swear to God, I don't see the appeal.
I'm not gonna air myself on this podcast.
This is why we have COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep your saliva in your mouth. Come on.
Yeah, that thing with the couple, I'm like, don't post it, please. I'm pretty sure that video went viral. If you guys are gonna break up, I don't want to associate myself with this.
Imagine getting married and then trying to do a reel, and then you post one of that, I don't know, just to be a bitch ass friend and be like, oh, do you remember this? This isn't the dude that you're marrying, but you made him do that to you.
That's why stuff like that should be in the bedroom, not on social media. Or if you want to post it, at least post it and choose close friends, period. Yeah, don't post it on TikTok. Jesus, there are children there. Northwest is on there. Jesus.
But you know what I want to listen to? Our Shorty. What are we going to talk about today?
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of non-consent, one last thing, because this just happened in Singapore. The thing that happened in, where was that? When the dude that attacked her poor wife.
I can't remember the exact name of the restaurant, but it was in Beach Road. It was a steamboat restaurant.
Yeah, steamboat restaurant. And it was crazy.
I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, we need consent on things that we were allowed to see. I mean, it did say, this has graphic stuff.
It's already been taken
I chose to click see video, but still, it was I wasn't prepared to see that.
It was intense, but the video only lasted a day, and then after that, it was all taken down.
Oh, that's good.
The Singaporean government is very
strict,
private about those things in that way. And I think it's actually good, because oftentimes the shit that we see on social media are not the things that should be aired out to the rest of the world anyway. It's none of our business. As for her surviving, I'm actually not sure. I haven't read the news recently, but I don't think she died. I hope she didn't.
Yeah, I don't think she did too, but I think she lost an arm or something.
I wouldn't be surprised because it was so scary. Her forearm was practically dangling.
Yeah.
Because he used
trigger warning to.
Oh, oops! Too late.
Too late.
But I mean, if you're already listening to this podcast, you should be expecting a little bit of those information. But yeah, I mean, like, he did use a chopping knife for it. It's crazy because, like, it already came off. Yeah, it already came off the handle, but he still got the blade and tried to
hit her,
chop her up.
Yeah, that was crazy. I read the background story. She's like a waitress at the steamboat shop or at one of the restaurants in that strip. And then the guy like suddenly like barged in and attacked her. And then the witnesses saw them running down the street and they thought that it was just a regular fight because they heard the shouting and everything. And then next thing they know, like they're seeing blood and like legit
it was insane
screaming
because like people were trying to help her out, but you know that they're also scared, so they're just like throwing things at him. One thing that made me laugh, and this is actually not funny, I just have a very dark sense of humor. They threw a road sign at him.
They did. I saw that. They tried to like block him.
Yeah.
And then I read the interview, like there was one guy that did try to charge at him to help the girl or to distract him, but he like tried to hit him with a cleaver. And I gotta say, you know, there's like cultural differences because I was looking at it and I kept thinking that this dude is very fucking lucky that he's not from the Philippines. Not to say that the people here are very like
savages,
like are brave or something. I mean, people there are still brave in Singapore. They're just not used to stuff like that. Because if that happened in the Philippines, because that a similar thing happened like that in the Philippines, and the dude, so the thing that happened in the Philippines, a guy that was stalking basically a teenager like fell in love with her, but she kept saying no because she was a lesbian, and the guy got angry, so he stabbed her and then stabbed someone else. Like within, I would say 30 seconds or less, I would say 20 seconds or less, everyone charged at him, and he was carrying like a huge ass knife.
Yeah.
Everyone charged at him.
Was
and
it a machete?
Yeah, I think it was a machete or something. It was a huge knife. And then one of we call them tambay, so they're basically people that hang out in the streets. One of the tambays like charged at him, and then everyone charged at him and then beat the shit out of him that the police had to like were there to save him from the people.
You know what's funny? Because me and my housemates were talking about the same exact thing. We were like, if this dude did that in the Philippines, he would probably be the one dead. Because everyone's just like beating him up. There were like more or less 15 people in that scene, and all, I'm not saying that what they did was not helpful or wrong. Yeah.
It was because she was able to get away.
Yeah, but they were just like throwing stuff at him. You know that they're afraid as well. And it's such a huge cultural difference, like you mentioned, because with us, we're like, fuck you, man. I'ma beat you up.
I will say, because we know a lot of people that are tambays, and you just know that they're waiting for something like this to happen so they can beat the shit. They have a reason to actually beat the shit out of a person. And
how bored are you with your life that you're just waiting for a commotion to be like, yep, I have every right to punch you in the face.
I swear to God. So that was, I was like, I mean, those people are really brave because he was carrying a cleaver. And personally, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't,
But I
probably
feel like the road sign, why would you throw that? I would smack him with the stop sign if I had a chance. But they threw it at him.
Yeah, maybe they really just aren't used to
just,
stuff like that.
Whatever.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
I'll probably just like run him over with a car. You know what? No, I am outing myself right now.
Yeah, that's all I can say, that it's a cultural thing, that people there are not used to it. And the dude, let me tell you, you're lucky that you're in Singapore. That's all I can say. Because
the police got to you first.
I mean, is he lucky though? Because you know how Singaporean government is when it comes to like stuff like that. I mean, he created a public thing.
I would still say
he's gonna die for sure. I'm sure that he's gonna get hanged 100%.
I love how you're like, he's gonna die for sure. Like, okay, the way you said it.
I'm sorry. It's just that I know your government, and you guys do that there.
I don't know. I guess it is still better that he got caught rather than beaten up by people, because at least like you get due process in a way. But I don't know, man, that shit was crazy. That's not something you hear a lot here, which is a good thing, to be honest, because then you know that's how safe the place is.
Yeah, it's
just insane that this actually happened, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's proceed with our Shorty. Completely forgot about it.
Now I actually feel like this is even juicier than the actual Shorty.
It is, honestly. So, let's give you guys something scary, something spooky, something paranormal, because in our big episode, in our full episode, why did I say big episode? Our full episode, you know, my first thought was to say our tall episode, because this is a Shorty, and I was like, no,
our grande episode,
big instead, and I was like, no. What is happening? In our full episode, we're gonna be talking about paranormal too. So yeah, this one is found on Reddit on Paranormal, not on No Sleep, on our Paranormal, posted by username Amethea 3 years ago. The title is My Father Experienced Back in the Forest of Thailand. So my father was somewhat a skeptic in the paranormal. However, one of few stories my dad would share about his childhood, this one was pretty in-depth. He was born in Cambodia around age 14 when he experienced what war was like. I looked up the pronunciation of Khmer, and I found out that locals actually pronounce it as Khmer. Khmy. Khmer. So yeah, the Khmer Rouge. As
what? Now I'm confused.
I know it's Rouge, right? Khmer Rouge. That's how you pronounce it. But my brain was like, say Rogue. Maybe it's Rogue. No. Wait, is it Rogue or Rouge?
Rogue is spelled with R-O-G-U-E.
G-U-E, right? I'm right. What's wrong with my brain? My brain wants to sabotage me.
Rouge is like the U is before the G. R-O-U-G-E.
Yeah, that's it. I actually know that it is Khmer Rouge. Like, I've read their history, but now I'm like questioning myself on our podcast. Not the right time, brain. Anyway, the Khmer Rouge, as described by my grandmother and parents, were ruthless. Often families get separated, and because of that, my father's parents knew they had to get my father far from what was going to happen. As they were rudely awakened by the Khmer Rouge trying to get in the house, my father could hear his parents constantly shouting at him to run so that he wouldn't have to see what was going to happen if he stayed around longer. My dad told me that this was the hardest part he had ever had to do in his life, but he did. He ran from the thickest forest of Cambodia to make his way to Thailand. Halfway mark between Cambodia and Thailand, a few monks spotted my dad and asked him where he was heading by himself. at this time of the night. My dad, which understood Thai, told them about his situation, so they decided to walk with my dad where they would take him in and feed him and all the other stuff. As you can imagine, the forest is pretty thick and the sound of gunfire is echoing throughout. The monks would casually stop at times to pray because dead bodies would be found, and my father was terrified by the sight of it like any kid would. Yeah, he's 14. That's fucked up.
I dissociated, and then you were like, he's 14. My brain is like, what are we talking about?
Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. As moments seemed like forever, the sun barely breaking through, my father heard a faint female voice in this pitch black forest. He looked up at the monks and noticed they started to chant and pray because they heard it too. My father decided to stand in between the monks if anything happens. This is what my father had a hard time explaining to us. As the monks chanting and praying, they noticed there was movements coming above them. The trees started to shake, and my father told me he saw what he believed was a lady with super long hair, like the grudge-looking lady. The monks decided to continue chanting, and the monks told my dad not to look at her or pay attention to her. They told him to chant and pray with them. So he did, and as they started chanting louder, the trees around them started to shake. At this moment, the monks told my dad to make a dash for it because the border of Thailand was just up ahead. This time around, my father was like, "You don't have to ask me twice." As he was running the entire time, he said that something was chasing him. He felt like something was nearly at his back but was far out of reach. He numbed out the pain from his feet and continued running. As it felt like an eternity, he spotted some sunlight and pushed through the last few steps out of the forest. Whatever that was chasing him stopped, and my father decided to turn around. He spotted the monks coming out, and he said they looked like they were fighting someone or something. My dad asked the two monks if they saw what he saw, and they said yes, and they thought having him run ahead would keep whatever it was away. But they said once my dad took off running, that thing was chasing him the entire time.
Yeah! I can't.
And
I'm sorry.
that's it. That's the end. He had other stories, but that was like what pushed him from being a skeptic to a somewhat believer.
I hate it every time someone's like, don't look at whatever it is, because my brain is like, now I want to look, but at the same time I know I shouldn't, you know what I mean? And it makes it even scarier, I would say, rather than not knowing at all.
That's true. Do you think he was chased because he was a kid or because he looked at the lady?
I think it's the latter. I doubt like the lady cares about the age. Because
I wonder what it was.
Me too. But then again, if it's in the forest, there are a lot of entities that live there, and they're usually very territorial. So I get that she probably didn't like people seeing her.
Yeah. Also, why are you approaching them if you don't want to be seen? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not blaming you.
And then the next thing you know, it's like, I can feel her beside me.
No, please don't.
I can see your face, and it's like, I don't even want to look back anymore because I feel like...
No, because I also still want to visit Cambodia, and I don't want to...
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's our story for today. We actually had more, but we were talking about other stuff, so we'll just talk about it in our big episode.
Oh my god, big!
In our full episode.
Jeez, my god. But that actually gave me goosebumps. That's why I shouted. I shouted because I was feeling so much emotion that I just had to let it out. I can totally imagine something like that happening.
Exactly.
To, like, a younger
Us.
self. Yeah. Yeah, us.
Dude,
Well,
we used
actually-
to love, like, forests before. Do you remember?
Yes, in college oh my god, remember when we got lost in the school forest?
The school's forest.
That was insane,
Yeah.
because we were like walking around in circles and we didn't really have like any signal at all, so we couldn't text people.
Yeah, and I tapped out early because my shoes were rubber and I kept slipping on the rocks. I was like, yeah, I'm going back. And I think you guys went in further. I know me and our other friend Pano, we went back because our shoes were like made out of not the soles, but like the whole thing. It's like Crocs, but like for
I remember
ballet flats. Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys, that was your excuse. I was wearing heels. I went down, like I still went in through that, and then when I went down from the mountains, you could see like a huge chunk of mud skewered into the heels.
Jesus.
But anyway, that's not the creepy thing. We will see you guys in the big episode. Thanks for creeping, you fucking creeper.
And remember, the government or a lady could be watching you. Bye.